Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Hari Om Tat Sat. Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So far, we have completed the two chapters. The first chapter, titled as the Arjuna Vishada Yogam, and the second chapter, Sankhya Yogam. The connection between the first and the second chapters, when Arjuna totally surrendered to the Lord and accepted the Krishna as his guru and the advisor, he sincerely requested and asked him, O Lord Krishna, please teach me what is good for me. Accept me as your disciple. And then Krishna started teaching. In the teaching, in the beginning and in the end, that is starting with the Ashocha Nanvashochastvam Pragnavadamscha Bhashase. And in that shloka, Panditaha Nanu Shochanti is the very important statement. The wise people never grieve for anything. So the wise means Jnanis. So Jnana is praised and given the importance in the beginning of the teaching itself. Then again from the 55th shloka, Prajahati yada kaman sarvan pardhamato manogatan, and up to the end of the second chapter, 72nd shloka, Esha Brahmi Sthiti Pardha. All that also again talks about and glorifies the Gnanam. And Gnana only can remove the sorrow of the person. Ajnanam is the cause for Dukkham, and Gnanam is cause for the Sukham. And in between means after 11th shloka up to 25th shloka, and again Bhagavan there taken up the topic of the Karma Yoga. And there he praised the karma, the importance of the karma, and how the karma will purifies the mind of the person and makes him fit to the Gnanam. And there he told that Karmani eva adhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phalheturbhuhu mate sangha astu karmani akarmani. And then yogastha kuru karmani yoga karmasu kaushalam. Like this, the very important statements given by the Lord about the karma yoga. Now, this third chapter, so after that teaching is over actually, but Arjuna posing a question, which is this third chapter titled as the Karma Yoga. Why again Karma Yoga? What happened to the Arjuna? Why he is asking a question? Certain points we have to ponder on it. So this chapter is the ABCD about the action. Why Lord again talking from the ABCD? That too about the action. And in the second chapter, Bhagavan clearly when he is talking about the Karma Yoga and all that, finally he advised to Arjuna, therefore, Vigata Jwaraha Yudhyasva Bharata. Hey Bharat, Arjuna, give up all this excitement and all that and engage yourself in this karma of the battle, Yuddham. Now Arjuna, after listening all that, got confused. Got confused. Now that confusion is expressed here in the first question by first shloka by asking the question. अथ तृतीयोऽध्यायः अर्जुन उवाच जायसी चेत् कर्मणस्ते मता बुद्धिर्जनार्दन तत्किं कर्मणि घोरे मां नियोजयसि केशव. Before going to the word-to-word meaning, few side points. In this shloka, by asking a question, Arjuna blaming the Lord Krishna, you are confusing me. You confused me. Because to say that putting a blame on a other person is so easy. Naturally, people will do like that. So somebody said, error is human, but blaming and putting that error on others is more human. So we are experts in putting the blame on others. So actually Bhagavan Krishna didn't confuse him. Bhagavan spoke very clearly both these topics of the Karma Yoga and Gnana Yoga. And Arjuna's question is that in this two, out of these two, which is good, which is great? This is not only Arjuna's question. Generally, many of us who are interested in walking the spiritual path and listening to the scriptures and all these things, here and there listening, and we all got still a big doubt many times. This is a FAQ, frequently asked question, that which yoga is best? Here, of course, only two yogas are now the topic, Karma Yoga, Gnana Yoga. And we know about Bhakti Yoga also. We heard, no means we heard. And we heard about the Raja Yoga also. So whether Karma Yoga is best, or the Bhakti Yoga is the best, or the Karma Yoga is the best, or the Gnana Yoga is the best? This question is wrong. Because there is no such option like that. Any one yoga you can take and you will be relieved and get out of your samsara or misery. The ultimate thing is the moksham or the gnanam. But gnanam can come only by gnana yoga. If that is the ultimate and that is the thing, now if you ask which is best, Karma Yoga or Bhakti Yoga, it is not like that. There is no any option between this Karma Yoga and Gnana Yoga. Let us restrict to these two fields only, because Bhagavan spoke about these two only. There is no option. Bhagavan didn't give the option. it is separate. These two are two diagonal opposite areas they function. But in sequence, the doubt is like this. One is, we should practice this karma yoga and gnana yoga in sequential order, or anything can be done in the first or later. Question number one. Or these two are the practices should practice together. Gnana karma samuchaya. In fact, Bhagavan Shankara's bhashyam for introduction to this third topic is too vast. I will just mention one point from that, one or two, because maybe those days are always there are Purvamimamsakas, karma is best and great, karma alone Veda asking to do. Like that, there are people who argue like that. Maybe those days there are books also written, or discussions are more popular. Shankara bringing the topic here. They say those who understand the Veda or the Bhagavad Gita, these things, it is only Gnana Karma Samuchaya only, because they must practice together up to until the end of the life. But wherever it is said, you Vedantic people say that after that you renounce everything, karma cannot give the gnana. Any amount of karma cannot give the gnana. Okay? Gnana. Suppose if I show this spot knowledge came to you just by listening and seeing this part. Is it correct? And by seeing this clip, you are getting the clip gnana. So, gnanam always will come by knowing, not by doing. You should not say knowing also is a kind of doing. There is a lot of difference between the doing and knowing. For example, you do cleaning of your room every day for 1 month. What new gnanam you will get? Nothing. So any amount of karma cannot give any gnanam. But what karma will do? It cleanses your heart. Karma yoga. It cleanses your heart, makes your chittam shuddhi. So it is a preparatory step or the pre-step before you enter or take into the Gnana Marga. So it prepares. Though in sequential order, if you see, this is Karma Yoga first, then Upasana Yoga next. Of course, this Karma Upasana to do properly, we need a self-discipline. So Raja Yoga helps physically, mentally and emotionally, all that. And finally, once when you are become fit, then you are eligible for the Gnana, the study and the contemplation of the truth. Another example, now we got the point. So Shastra never advises the Gnana Karma Samuchaya. So Shankara discusses and argues a lot and negate those people and establish that by the Shruti Pramana itself, how it is important Many places he quotes left and right in the Bhashyam, and Tyage Naike Amrutatva Manasaho Na Karmana Na Prajaya Na Dhane Na Tyage Naike. Hundreds of places. The Shastra says that only by giving up and renunciation alone you attain the final beatitude of your life, moksha. So anyhow, that karma gnana samuchaya. Then another doubt is, so what is the clarification now here? It is a sequential order only. But sequential order means how I will know that when I am purified or not. Then until that I should not listen to the scriptures of Bhagavad Gita or Upanishad. It is not like that. Most of us who are you all listening are grihasthas. That means you are involved with a certain duties and the responsibilities. Simultaneously, you are doing that and you are listening to the Shastram also. But it is not we didn't say that you keep on do the karma. Normal routine, karma means the family response and all that. But when we talk about the karma seriously, and that karma is involved with the yajna yaga and more upasana, puja, punaskaram, and all these kinds of sakama karmas, all that you have to slowly reduce and do nishkama karma, and simultaneously more and more involve in the gnanam, contemplation. Now I will put in this way, without karma yoga, gnana yoga is not possible. But without gnana yoga, karma yoga is incomplete. Okay. Oh, then third, one more doubt comes generally is, now finally the people who are talking about this karma gnana samuchaya and all that, are which is going to give the moksha, whether the gnanam or the karma, that doubt also have many people. But it is clear the Shastra or Bhagavad Gita, these three doubts only very well clarified and discussed in the Bhagavad Gita. Gnanam only. Gnanenaiva tu kaivalyam. Nahi gnanena sadrusham. Pavitram iha. Okay. Then Gnani naiva tu atmaiva mematam. The Gnani is equal to myself, Bhagavan Krishna says. So like this, these three questions should be very clearly understood, and doubt should not be there in this. So Bhagavan praised both and finally advised the Arjuna, now you do the karma, involve in this action. This is good for you. In this way, he asked. But not understanding properly by Arjuna Bhagavan's teaching, he misunderstood and he got confused. What is this misunderstanding and confusion? Because of filtered listening. Filtered listening means when we listen, particularly to the Shastra, so one-sided, we listen and take more importantly and register in our mind which are suitable to us, which are congenial to us, which are suitable to our emotional personality and our vasanas. Okay. That is called filtered listening. Most of the people will do that. Even, for example, if the wife and the husband comes to the satsang, or the children are and parents are also there in satsang. Suppose if that speaker tells anything about the advice like to the parents, children will remember that and they will ask also later. Yes, father, see that Swamiji said only for you. You remember that? And when something is told to the children to their point, then parents will remember that and see what Swamiji said, like that. Even wife and husband also. This is all called filtered listening. So Arjuna also did that. But he is going to accept that in the next sloka. But in the first sloka, he is putting the blame on the Lord Krishna. But Krishna, being a great teacher, he never blamed the Arjuna, and he never said that you don't listen properly. You are a dull-witted person. Krishna didn't say that. This is the greatness of the teacher. Not only that, moreover, he started teaching again from the Karma Yoga in the 3rd chapter. That's why the ABCD of the Karma Yoga. And in the 4th and 5th chapters, Bhagavan is going to talk again elaboratedly about the Gnana Yoga. So whether Arjuna has got a doubt and Arjuna blaming the Krishna, but we should not also blame the Krishna. We must understand these both the characters. The teacher never, or the scriptures never say anything wrongly. This is very important point as a students, disciples. We must have. My teacher is talking and explaining about the Shastra. So he never say, he never say anything wrongly, which is not good for me. But I have got confused. Confusion will come. Many times, for many students it will come. Okay, let me clarify this, but let me not put the blame on the Guru or the Shastra. This only will help us. This is called the Shraddha or the Bhakti, the firmness, that the confirmation or the confidence. My teacher never say anything wrong. But how, of course, in this particular aspect or topic, I have got a doubt. And maybe I will ask him again and clarify my doubt. But I am not doubting the teacher. I am doubting my understanding. This is called positive approach. This only will help us to grow spiritually. Not simply by blaming or I want to change the teacher. It doesn't work. It won't help you. Again, there also you will get the same kind of problem and the same kind of complaint. So therefore, here we have to remember this, what Lord said. There is no any mistake or wrong communication from the Krishna's angle. How he can become a Jagat Guru? But Arjuna blaming in this way. You are showing me the 500 rupees note and the 100 rupees note, and so 100 rupees 500 rupees note is 4 more times uh, um, bigger, valuable than the 100 rupees note. Therefore, Arjuna, you take 100 rupees note. It seems to be illogical, no? This is 100 rupees note. This is 500 rupees note. This is more valuable. Therefore, you take the 100 rupees note. It looks like that, Arjuna, Krishna, you are praising so much. And I am also interested to give up all this kind of karma and all that. And if you advise me, go to some ashramam and study thoroughly, properly, systematically for a long time. I have told only briefly now about the Gnana. That is good. But in fact, in Arjuna's heart of the heart, his personality is not this. For example, Arjuna did so many wars, fightings before, even just before completion of this Vanavasa also, that time also, they had have war with the Duryodhana and or some other ways. But Arjuna never had a problem while he was fighting in those wars. But why the problem of this Shoka, Moha, all that now in this war? Because that karma, that war is different, and this karma, this war is different, because now I have to fight with my own grandfather and with my own teacher. So here, altogether, the reason is the doership and claiming the doership of that action, and according to our choice, that time, that action, same kind of war only. But doing the war with somebody is different. I am comfortable. But doing the war with the own people is different. So I want to withdraw. Is it a real personality, a real interest of the Arjuna? No. So Bhagavan knows very well that his inner personality says something, and he is not really want to go to set gnana or take sannyasa. Temporarily he got this kind of bhavana. That's it. So this is the background. We have to remember all these points. Now let us see the meaning of this first shloka. What he says, Arjuna uvacha. Arjuna says, Hey Janardhana, O Lord Krishna. This Janardhana, Janan Ardhayati iti Janardhana, Janena Arthayate iti Janardhana. Like this, the meaning can be taken, because the word has got a very important, deeper meaning. It is addressing to the Krishna only. So, but I would like to tell that Arthayati, that means Jana means Maya, also called Janayati iti Jana, which creates the ignorance. What creates the ignorance? Maya creates the ignorance. That's why Jana means Maya. Janayati Maya, Agnanam iti Jana Maya. Arthayati, who destroys that Maya, that ignorance, that teacher, that Lord is called Janardhana. Or in a general meaning of the Bhakti angle, Janan arthayati. He destroys, he removes the evil-minded people, devilish mentality people. So that is and Janena arthayati, whoever prays to him, whoever believes him, whoever listens to him, who have devotion to him, he protects them. And so all the good people, devotees, they all arthayati, they will ask, they all desire to have the darshan of the Lord. They all want that Lord, arthayati. They seek for him. So in this way, Janardhana. So Arjuna Uvacha, Hey Janardhana, Chet Buddhi Matate. If in your opinion, Buddhi Matate Jayasi Karmanaha. Here the Buddhi word is used in the meaning that Buddhyate iti buddhihi. Buddhyate anena iti buddhihi. Here buddhi, the word Bud plus ti, buddhi, means gnanam. In your opinion, if this gnanam, self-knowledge, is considered as the great, superior than the action, then why you are putting me, asking me, encouraging me, kim niyojayasi? Why you are engaging me, asking me to the ghore karmani? This deathful action, ghora karma. See, Arjuna's opinion, that's why I told, cruel, in this cruel action. What cruel action? He did many wars before. He is good in doing the war and conquering the enemies. But this war is the cruel war because I don't like it. So this kind of cruel action, hey Keshava, oh Krishna, why you are asking me, why you are engaging me and telling it is good for me to do? I am not able to understand. I think you are misguiding me, misleading me. So this is my question. Why you are asking me to involve in this cruel action? But you praised the self-knowledge. And when Arjuna asked this question, then second shloka also, Arjuna is continuing. Then he is rectifying himself somewhat. He realized, no. When I accepted my Krishna as my guru, advisor, well-wisher, how can I put the blame on him and you don't know how to teach? You are confused me. I think you are told me wrongly. So he corrected himself. See, this is another thing. If at all, any time, due to any reason, if you got any kind of conflict with the Guru's teaching and in our inner mind, we must have the patience. The Shraddha is called patience. That dedication, the Vinayam. This is the Arjuna's Vinayam we are seeing in this. Vinaya means obedience, humility. So immediately corrected. Same way, whenever in our life also, suppose it happens like that, we must correct it immediately. We must rectify. No, no, no. I think maybe now my mind is not in a position and not a clarity or capacity to understand what is the essence of this particular teaching. So let me keep my whims and fancies at the side and give the importance to the words of the teacher. That's why we should never justify our own mind what my mind says. Of course, you can clarify. It doesn't mean that you believe blindly. That is also not accept. Let us read the second shloka, how Arjuna corrected himself. व्यामिश्रेणेव वाक्येन बुद्धिं मोहयसीव मे तदेकं वद निश्चित्य येन श्रेयोऽहमाप्नुयाम्. I think Krishna Vyamishrena Vakyena Iva. This Iva word is important. Iva Vyamishrena, as though as though you are seemingly contradictory. Vyamishrena means it is seemingly contradictory statements vakyena, because you talk the two oppositely diagonally opposite things. Karma leads to the different, gnana is different. But if the karma is taken as the karma yoga, and when we know the limitations of the karma, and how far, how much, then drop that karma. Then when you are capable of, eligible of engaging in the only gnana, the self-enquiry, the reality, this karma drops. But you talked both together. Maybe I think they are looking like a contradictory. That's why Iva, Ivamishrena Iva Vakyena, these seemingly contradictory statements, I think may buddhim mohayasi. I think I got my intellect, my understanding got confused. Okay, here buddhi means intellect only. But in the previous shloka, the buddhi can refers to the object knowledge also. The buddhi can refer to the instrument of the knowledge also. It can refers to the knowledge itself. So here, my buddhi, my intellect, the instrument, I think mohayasi, may buddhim iva. Here also once more, second time using this iva, as it were, as though, I think you told contradictorily, and I think my intellect is not able to understand properly. I think so. Now once again I am asking you, whether nishchitya, tell me definitely ekam tat. Now tell me only decide it. Tell me one. Ena aham shreyaha apnuyam, by which I will attain the supreme good. I will attain the good. Shreyaha. See, that means what? He already told it is good for you to do the karma, fight this war. But Arjuna not able to understand, because his attention is more on the quitting the war and run away, his filtered listening is Gnanam, Gnanam, Atma. That is so nice. So he changed his mind now. I mean, he instead of putting the blame on the teacher Krishna, now he is putting the blame on himself. Let me listen again. Let me ask and clarify. And if I am not able to get clarification, again let me listen. If I don't get the clarification, again let me listen. This is the only way. Never think, never doubt the Shastra or the teacher. Teacher. That's why many times, we people, students say that today class is so nice. I understood properly because your mind is now so available qualitatively, quantitatively, and peaceful. So you listened, and maybe those points are more suits to you right now. Then you think that the teaching is same teaching only, same teacher only will teach, but that kind of changes we used to go through. We will observe that while in the process of Shravanam. So here, this Arjuna's correction by himself about his mistake shows the Guru Bhakti. Okay. Now, Shastra or Guru never asks you, blindly you follow. Blindly you follow. Have a doubt in the mind, but being a Guru saying and Shastra saying, but internally I am feeling conflict, contradiction. Don't do that also. Don't believe blindly and follow it is also not good. Who says? Shastra itself says. Don't simply swallow, accept because my Guru telling, but clarify it. You clarify it, ask with humility, and remove that contradiction from your heart. So you should not prolong that confusion and the contradiction in your heart. You cannot progress spiritually. This is also we have to remember. Then, if I grasp properly, there won't be any illogicality. Okay, that's why this advice giving and value preaching is not correct. Advice giving, values preaching. It should be authoritative. Shastra should authorize it. It should not contradict the Shastra's teaching. That's why this logical explanation is very important many times. That's why the whole Brahma Sutra came into. Because Brahma Sutra comes under the Nyaya Prasthana. What is that? Logical explanation. Many things which can create the doubt by listening to the Upanishads and Bhagavad Gita mainly. That's why Vyasacharya wrote Brahma Sutras to remove the contradictions and the conflicts and the illogicality. Then for that, Shankaracharya Bhagavan written a very beautiful again commentary to understand the Brahma Sutra. The biggest drawback in the listener or the seeker is that generally normal people they are not ready to think. Swami, you tell me that you do this, coming and sitting and listening all this. I can't spend that much time. But I can spend the time. You ask me to do something 108 times you do in the morning. I will do it sincerely. So many people are interested to do, even they are ready to take the pain and strain, but they are not ready to think and give the work to the intellect. It is a big tragedy. In big tragedy. Generally, in old age it will happen, because in old age, understand, listening, grasping, understanding, all these are all difficult, because the faculties of the person becomes weak. But when we are somewhat good in health is good condition, then we have to use the brain, intellect, and so Viveka is, that's why is important in Vedanta study. Viveka means what? Discrimination. Discrimination between the Atma, Anatma, Satya, Asatya. So in the second shloka also, Arjuna continued his question only, but here with humility, with utmost obedience, and correcting himself, and then asking the Lord. See, that should be the attitude. That should be the attitude. So this is the value we learn from this second shloka. Then Bhagavan started teaching from the third shloka. Shri Bhagavan लोकेऽस्मिन् द्विविधा निष्ठा पुरा प्रोक्ता मया नघ ज्ञानयोगेन साङ्ख्यानां कर्मयोगेन योगिनाम्. Shri Bhagavanuvacha. Here, Bhaga, nowhere Vyasacharya or these commentators later on, Madhusudana Saraswati Maharaj or Shankaracharya, nowhere they didn't, Krishna said, because it is Bhagavan, it's Avatara, Ishvara Avatara. Now, what is the meaning of the Bhaga? I already mentioned anywhere, just recollect it. Bhagavan. Who is Bhagavan? Bhaga means in Vishnu Purana, given one nice sloka where there are the six these qualities, these attributes, then he can be called as the Bhagavan. Aishwaryasya samagrasya dharmasya yashasya shriyah vairagyasyath वैराग्यस्य अथ वैराग्यस्याथ ज्ञानश्च षण्णा भग इतीरणा. See these six qualities. One is the Sampurna. It is all Purnam. Okay, Samagra means complete. Complete Ishvara Bhavam. That means for ruling power. Shasakatvam and Dharmam, Kirti, Sampada, Vairagyam, and Moksham. That means Gnanam. Wherever all these six are there, then they are called Bhaga. And that person, that Lord is called Bhagavan. Okay. So Shri Bhagavanu Vacha. So we must have that Lord Ishvara himself is talking to me, not only to the Arjuna. What Bhagavan saying? Hey Anagha. Anagha means O sinless person or O blessed Arjuna. Who are all we are all listening to Bhagavad Gita, no? The Lord's words. Bhagavan, huh? Bhagavatam Gita, Bhagavad Gita. The words uttered by the Lord Himself. That one great blessing itself we remember, that itself will help us. So anagha means sinless. Unless we have some kind of purity and our sins are destroyed, we never get the opportunity, even opportunity to listen to Shastra. Understanding is okay, different. It takes time. But even to listen, the opportunity won't come. If there more papas are there, more obstacles. They won't allow us. The obstacles are in so many forms. They will be in the form of the body health and in the form of the family problems and the family attachments and so many. So in this way, a anagha, so Lord addressing to the Arjuna with encouraging word, O sinless one. See, asmin loke dvividha nishtha. In this world, there are twofold disciplines. Nishtha means a discipline, one meaning. Two types of lifestyles, that also we can take. From the ashrama standpoint, if you take grihastha ashrama and sannyasa ashrama. So two folds of disciplines are there in this world. Dvividha nishtha. Prokta maya. They are told and described, explained, told by me, initiated by me, because as a Lord, Ishvara, I only bring them into existence. Sarvagnena Ishvarena Maya, Lord telling Maya Prokta, told by me. But when Lord said told by me, many others also people, they claim themselves as the avatars, Kalki, this, that, and so many godmans. They will tell on their own something without any support of the scripture. No, it is not like that. Sarvagnena Ishvarena. When I told Pura, being in the beginning of the creation itself, the beginning of the creation itself. What are the two folds, two disciplines? One is Gnana Yoga, for whom Gnana Yogena Sankhyanam. For Sankhya means for the, I will just give the general meaning and I will tell little deeper what Shankara mentions about this. General meaning, Gnana Yogena. Through Gnana Yoga is for the sannyasis, the people of the renounced people, sannyasis. And Karma Yogena Yoginam. Here Yoginam means householders, for Grihasthas. That's why that Nishtha word we should take as the two ashrama dharmas. For Grihastha ashrama dharma people, I have given the Karma Yoga. And for the sannyas ashrama people, I have given the Gnana Yoga or Sankhya Yoga as the sadhana for them. As the sadhana for them. Okay, is it clear? There are two ashramas and two different types of sadhanas. But in this Grihastha, Bhagavan didn't tell here, just I am mentioning in the second chapter, the essence if you see, In this, the grihastha sadhana is karma yoga. By that, the grihastha should purify himself, make himself fit for the gnanam, and promote himself and come to the vanaprastha, which is in between, and then sannyasa ashrama. Here also again, sannyasa ashram is not literally we have to renounce and change our dress and change our name and leave the house and go to somewhere. It is not necessary. It is not necessary. But mental, manasika sannyasa, internal sannyasa can be followed if you are matured. It is easy for many of us. That's why we can be in as a grihastha one side, and karma yoga part is done over. But now I am fully available, convinced, and I am eligible also for total contemplation and vicharana of the Shastra about the truth, nothing else. So there are two paths like this. Here it is. The Grihastha is consisting of the Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga is based on the Dharma. So, Dharmam and then Karmam, then Brahmam. We can make it everything, this lifestyle of the Ardha Kama Purusharthas also will come under. So, Dharmam, based on the Dharmam, the Karmam. When the Karmam is based on the Dharmam, that Karmam definitely gets dropped by itself. What its job has to done, it will do, and it will drop by itself. Then no more the karma will not become a bandham. And then Brahmam. Through, that means Gnanam and Brahmam. That's it. That is the goal. So purify, know it, and get moksha, relief. That's it. So in Grihastha the dharmam is a values, following of the values. A value-based dharmic life is very important. A value is a value when the value is valued by you. The value is a value when the value is valued by you, not otherwise. They are not just in the quotations or in the books. Okay? So, then I told that Pura, one word, what Shankara says, Sargado Prajaha Srishtva Tasam Abhyudaya Nishreyasa Prapti Sadhanam. Why have described these two types of sadhanas, two different types of ashrama dharmas? The reason is, in the beginning of the creation, when I having created these living beings, prajaha, human beings, tasam abhyudaya nishreyasa, for their abhyudayam and nishreyasam. That means for their yogam and kshemam, or abhyudayam means the material prosperity and for their spiritual prosperity. Then That's why I have given this two types of lifestyle and the nishtha also. Then Sankhyanam means what? Atmanatma vivekatam brahmacharya ashramad eva. Shankara writes, even from the childhood, from the brahmacharya ashram itself, entering into the eva krita sanyasanam. That means who is capable of renouncing and come out of this web of the whirlpool of the karma, the fear of the karma and all that. Sanyasanam Vedanta Vijnana, that is he quoting in the Upanishad, Vedanta Vijnana Sunishchitardhanam. That same sentence Bhagavan quoting here. Paramahamsa Parivrajakanam Parivrajakasya Brahmani eva avasthitanam. I want only the truth. Truth. Brahmani eva avasthitanam. That means who wants the Vedanta Vijnana Sunishchitam, Parahamsa Parivrajaka state, complete inner renunciation, the inner leisureness in the heart to them. Then who are these Karma Yogena? Karminam Nishtha Prokta, who are Swadharma Anushtaname. What is Karma Yoga? Swadharma Anushtanameva Karma Yoga. Okay? In this way, Bhagavan started giving the answer. Very beautifully is going to give step by step very clearly. Let us see more in the next class. So just we started today the A, B, C, D of the about action. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Hari Om Tat Sat.